an easy calm at Tema-based Volta Aluminium Company, VALCO, following the decision by the Ghana Grid Company, Gridco, to cut power supply to the main facility producing the plant. Now, VALCO, with the capacity to produce some 200,000 metric tons per annum of aluminium products, ranks amongst the large primary aluminium producers in the world. But today it's a ghost town, but more instructive is the claim that it will require over $10 million to bring the over 120 cells back to life after power was cut last night. Chairperson of the Local Workers Union, Edgar Tete, has been addressing the press on matters.
Exchange-based entity, and the foreign exchange it rakes in goes a long way in supporting the economy. As we speak, most of the retired top management personnel have continued to occupy company houses since retiring, blocking access to others to also enjoy same. Additionally, we have two retired department directors heading the maintenance department. The unthinkable explanation is that one of them heads mechanical related issues and the other electrical matters. Mr. Dana Jampon and Mr. Festus Kwedu, in particular, have shown no love and commitment to improving the lives of the non-management employees. Our retired top management people uphold Kaiser's compensation system for themselves and their wives. They have changed the Tier 3 system and have placed the blackmail on it once we speak for its reversal. Salary and promotions for several non-management staff have been delayed unfairly for several years, leading to agitations. Employment of relatives. Wage opener has been unnecessarily delayed as a result of bad faith on the part of management. Management has chosen shutdown over increment of salary for non-management. Financial malfeasance everywhere without any investigation. One retired army colonel in the company called in from the military, on us yesterday, the military, who mercilessly harassed and reported, One army colonel in the company called in the military on us yesterday, who mercilessly harassed the TV3 reporter and Joy FM reporter. Mr. President, the local union is calling for a full-scale investigation into incidents that led to the unnecessary and rather unfortunate shutdown of the lives of millions of Ghanaians, and the perpetrators must be brought to book to serve as a deterrent to others.
Well, joining us is Benjamin Akapo is joining us via phone. For more on this, Ben, and you've been there throughout today, the early parts. What can you report as to what the situation is there right now? Ben, if you can hear me, I'm just asking about the latest. Ben, can you hear me? I'm just asking about the latest there.
Hello, Blessed. I can hear you. Can you repeat the question?
I was just asking about the latest. Has power been restored to the facility?
Power has not been restored. As the workers tell me, in fact, I've been interacting with the union chairman, Edgar Tete, and he makes mention of the fact that power was cut per what information they gather by or on order of the CEO, Dan Echampong. And since that time, power has not been restored. Interestingly, he makes the point that other auxiliary functions, electricity functions of the company were left intact, so officers could have connectivity to electricity in terms of lighting, air conditioning, and all of that. But the main area where they process the aluminium, that is the rectifier, where the cells was affected. And again, just to reiterate, they tell me, I spoke with a former vice chairman of the union together with the current chair of the labor union there, and they both concurred that it was the CEO, per what information they gathered, that is Danny Champong, who ordered Gridco to disconnect power to the plant. And they also see it as a sort of display of power by the CEO. They also make the point, just to add, that it seems there is some sort of clique of retirees who have taken over the place, some of them 67. The CEO, they say, is 67 years, the deputy CEO is 68. And they're saying all of these people have nothing to lose, and so they are taking all sorts of decisions at VALCO that do not inure to their benefit. So that is the latest. Power has not been restored, but the workers are still showing up at work. In fact, when I went there at the premises of VALCO today, a lot of them had congregated there. They found their way to work, though the company that picked them up and shuttled them to work did not show up today, but they have showed up there. They say there's been no formal communication in terms of whether work should come to a pause for now, because once the cells are not working, and we've spoken about them, 127 of them, once they have been shut down, no can continue. But they are showing up because there's also a policy that if you don't show up to work for 5 days, you automatically sack yourself from the office. So those are some of the latest developments. But they are saying, when I spoke to Tete, the head of the labor union, he said they are not going to back down on this. They are going to follow through to its logical conclusion. They have met today with the ICU together with top management, but there was no clarity in terms of outcome. And so they are just waiting to see what happens in the coming days.
And how about the amount involved in restoring the operations of the company?
So one cell, restoring one cell would cost $100,000, just one. Now we're talking 127 of them. If you do the computation, that would amount to over $12.7 million. The interesting bit there, Blessed, is that they are saying the wage restoration, not an increment in wages. What they have been calling for is, and everything done by VALCO, by the way, is dollarized. So whatever equipment, whatever inputs they get as VALCO, it is paid for in dollars. When they produce the aluminium and it's being sold, it is sold in dollars. The remuneration also is in dollars. However, for the staff, this remuneration is given to them in CD equivalent. However, that equivalent has not been given to them over time. So, for example, if someone should get $300, now with the dollar appreciating against the CD, they expect that they would be given parity, equivalent sum. That is what has not happened, and that is what has culminated in the situation we are seeing currently. And so that is what they are calling for. But in terms of the cost, it's going to cost over $12.7 million, while the wage restoration that they are calling for would have amounted to something little more than $1 million.
So does it look like operations may resume anytime soon?
It does not look like that. I do not know about the access to funding, because I put a question to them about how soon this could be done. But they say that even if the money is immediately available, it's going to take a lot of technical work, a lot of man hours to get the cells back to life, to get the plant back on its feet.
Anyway, we'd have to leave it here. I'm grateful for your time. Benjamin Akapo, host of the AM show on the Joy News channel. Time